Hello everyone, welcome to tutorial 10. In this tutorial, we are going to learn about one of the most important design feature in SolidWorks, which is called configurations. Most of the time, while designing a new product, we may need several variations of the same product. And for that, it is not necessary to create different part file for each of the variation. Instead, we can use this configuration feature in SolidWorks and we can create multiple variations of the same part. We can create multiple variations of the same part using the design table in SolidWorks. Here you can see a simple object and its dimensions are mentioned. So 120 millimeter is the width, height, knob depth, box depth, hole diameter, and other details are mentioned here. First of all, I'm going to create this particular product in SolidWorks, and then I'm going to show you how you can rename the dimensions to the new names that we have here and then add those to design table to create different variations of the same product. Let's shift to SolidWorks. Okay, first of all, in order to draw the part, I'm going to use this top plane and sketch a simple rectangle, which is the center rectangle, and dimension it to 120 millimeter each side. And now I can extrude this. The next step is to sketch the knob at the top. This is a simple circle. I'm going to extrude this by 25 millimeters. The next feature is the hole inside this circle, and its diameter is 50 millimeters. And this hole is through the knob and the body of this part. And finally, the fillets. So the first fillet I'm going to add is on this side. So these are 5 millimeter fillets. The one at this location is 1 millimeter fillet. We have chamfer of 1 millimeter on the inside of the hole, 1 millimeter by 45 degrees. And finally, the fillet of 10 millimeter radius on these four corners. We have the base part ready. Now I'm going to show how you can rename the dimensions to the one that we have shown in the presentation. First of all, we are going to rename the depth of knob, which is 25 millimeter to knob depth. So in order to do so, you can go to Property Manager and click on the part for which you want the dimensions to appear, and here you can see this 25 millimeter appearing on this side. I'm going to select this 25 millimeter, and in the primary value tab I'm going to change this to knob depth and then press OK. The next thing is the height of the box, the width of the box, and depth of the box. So again, going to Property Manager, clicking on this box. So this is the depth of the box. The next one is If I go to this property tab, on this one, select the dimension. This is box height. The next one is the box width. And coming to the next part, which is diameter of hole in the knob and then fillet radius. Now we have renamed all these dimensions. We can shift to SolidWorks design table. In order to insert a design table, one of the method is to go to this tools in this insert button. In order to insert a design table, one of the method is go to this insert button under tables. You can select Excel design table. After selecting these, there are a few things that I like to update. So after clicking on design table, there are a few things I'd like to change in this tree. The first one is I don't want the model block to update the design table. So I do want design table to change the block, but changing the dimension in the block, it must not affect the design table. Finally, I'm going to uncheck these two buttons, so we don't want the columns for these new parameters and configurations. Simply clicking on OK. After clicking on OK button, another tab may appear to select the dimensions that we want to add in the configuration table. As of now, I'm just going to select OK without selecting any dimensions and see the design table here. We have this design table, and in order to add dimensions into this design table, I'm just going to move this part a bit to the right using Control right button. And I can add the dimensions simply by selecting those dimensions here. The first one is box width, the second is box height, the third one is box depth. Here you see whenever I select this dimension, they automatically add into this Excel in this table, Excel table. The next portions are related to this knob, which are knob diameter, depth, and hole diameter. So I'm going to select this knob. Its diameter is this one, knob diameter, knob depth, and finally the diameter of the hole. So I'm going to select this hole feature, and its diameter appears here. This is the diameter of the hole. And one last thing is this radius of the fillet. So we have these tables here, and on your version, you may have this. You will see you may have something written here. It may be like first instance, or so these are the names of the configuration. So I'm going to change this to config 1. I'm going to add another dimension, which is config 2, then config 3, and finally config 4. So by doing so, we have named these dimensions, and I can add the dimensions here using this table. So 120, so these are 120, 90, 30. So in this way, we can add the dimensions in this table, and I'm going to simply click on the right side. So it's quite possible that before entering all the dimensions, you may click on the right side. So in order to edit the table, you can go under this configuration tab, click on this table and right click to edit the table. So after clicking OK, you see we have these different configurations now in the part, and I'm going to select these. By double clicking on the configuration, you can unsuppress the configuration, and you will see how easy it is to make different variations of the same part. So I'm going to shift to configuration 2, configuration 3, configuration 4. We can use all of these configurations in assembly separately, and this is how simple it is to use configuration features to make multiple variations of the same part. Thank you so much, and I'll back with the new tutorial soon. Thank you.